All right, how we doing? So, I don't know what order I'm going to be uploading these in, but I just did a Call of Duty video. It's like an hour long. I'm not paying attention at the time. I was just into it, trying to finish everything. But we're going to start a PC part picker build. I said I would decide what I wanted to do, so I decided on PC part picker. I may go back and record another Call of Duty, just because I realized that I have to be work at 5, and it is currently 2. But we'll see. So this one, I'm thinking we're gonna do a budget build, not as cheap as possible, but I'm thinking we'll almost recreate what my first build was, which was a $600 limit, and I could have gotten way more for what I paid. But $600 limit, that's where we're gonna cut it. So because of that $600 limit, I think we're gonna go AMD and try to decide if I want to do Athlon or FX. We'll do 6300. How about that? Oh, it was right there. We'll do the AMD 6300. I'm thinking that is not how much a 9590 goes for now. Not even close. These prices, you can get them way cheaper elsewhere, but let's see. I'm looking. 6300 is about 100 bucks, or 8300 is $10 more for another 2 cores. Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do the 8300 instead. Just weird because I have an 8350 and it was like $140. So we're gonna have to get a cooler. I think we're gonna go with the Cooler Master Hyper 212 Evo. That thing, yeah. Which is like one of the highest rated coolers ever. And probably gonna have to go with Micro ATX because they tend to be cheaper. Yeah. Hey, that's actually the exact board I have. That board is actually really shit, so we're not gonna go with that. Let's see what we can get out of this Asus. Fairly decent memory speeds. I think mine only supports 1600, I think. Uh, yeah, I think that'll work. Whoa, did I see it didn't support SATA 6? Is it? Oh, it supports SATA 3 gig. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. I can't swing that. Okay, it has 6 gigabit. Yes, that's what we need. We're gonna run with this MSI. Look at that, we actually get a full ATX board for not much more than like another $10 almost from that ASRock. So we're gonna do, again, it's a budget build, so 8 gigs of RAM, 1600 megahertz, doesn't really matter. But we are going to try and color coordinate it. Since the motherboard is black and blue it is. Ooh, is this the... Oh yeah, that Avexer, with the plasma tubes. Oh, it's so badass. But it's only one stick. Damn. I was hoping it would be a 2 by. Yeah, there's a 2 by 4. Doesn't give me a price though, so we'll run with that. That's fine. Storage. It's a budget build. I have to keep that in mind. So we're gonna go 7200, get a 1 terabyte mechanical, because I know they're fairly cheap. I like Seagate, but we'll see. I couldn't, I could not recommend the Hitachi. I've just seen too much failure with those. We're gonna get Seagate Barracuda. I personally have never owned a Western Digital. I see a lot of people that buy Western Digital, and I haven't heard any horror stories. That being said, I can't say anything about them. Um, Budget card. I think we're gonna have to go with like an RX 470. We'll go with the RX 470, 8 gig version. I think that's what it is, 4 and 8 gig. And that looks good to me. 200 bucks ish for a 470. Ooh, don't have much money to play with here. Yo, you can totally, okay. I was like, where is the color options? Jesus Christ. DIY PCs are usually, this is actually what I have right here, the Deepcool Tesseract. Because I was going cheap as possible. That doesn't look terrible. Obviously, it's going to be a very standard. Ooh, top out of power supply. I do like the colors on it though. Colors aren't terrible. Let's... Doesn't actually give us... That's not very long. 9.5 inches. How long is the RX 470 that I just got? 9.5 inches. Holy crap, that is tiny for a mid-tower case. Yeah, this must be a really tiny... Damn it. This must be a really tiny mid-tower case. Load up already, Jesus. No side panel window, but whatever. One front, one rear, and 2 on the side. That's pretty good for cooling. Not terrible. This Deepcool Tesseract that I have is definitely better. What about here? What are we looking at? This one gives me a side window. Seems to have more cooling options as well. Okay, it does support ATX. I didn't see that. Supports larger graphics card. We're actually losing cooling. Or is this just showing what's installed? Uh, I'm not seeing any others actually. So you got one in the back, front, on the side, anything on the top? It doesn't show on the top. Yeah, I'm not liking these DIY PC choices. If I can't find one, I will resort to my case. SW, what the hell? These DIY PC, they're cheap and they don't look terrible, but I'm not seeing much in the way of cooling. Come on. Yeah, only 3 fans. That's not gonna do it for me. So I might have to go with the Deepcool Tesseract just because I know that it's a solid case. Actually, what's the max graphics card length? Giant. Yeah, it'll support it. What's this SW? Do you get anything more? I think that's actually what I have. What's the difference? Fuck if I know. I don't know what the difference is between the SW and the BF, but we're gonna go with this because it's cheaper. I'm actually going to look at this and see what its length is. Oh, it would have actually fit in that other card. Huh. Alright, let's choose a power supply. What are we drawing? So I'm thinking 650 watt. Yeah, that'll probably do it, but let's wattage 650 watts. See if I can't do better. Thermaltake is a fairly good company. See, I won't Raid Max, that's kind of 80 plus bronze, not modular. I'm gonna deal with the Thermaltake here, 45 bucks. We're just about to break our $600. But that was without keyboard and mouse and anything, so I think we're still okay. Now I know how many fans the Deepcool Tesseract supports because I'm looking at it right now. So it is okay with the single. I think it only came with front and rear fan, so, and it cooled okay, so I'm not terribly worried about it. But I do want to get. We have a little bit of money to play with, so no, no, I think this is good where we're at. I mean, I could try and we could probably get a little bit more out of it if I were to get a better process. No, no, this is a pretty good. This is much shorter than the last one was actually, because I was doing a budget build this time. So this is, it doesn't look like it's gonna get much cheaper than it already is. I mean, we just saw a pretty decent price drop in just about everything actually, as new stuff starting to come out. So I think that'll do it. To recap what we have, went with a AMD FX 8300. It's an 8 core. The Cooler Master 212 Evo. The MSI 970A ATX AM3 motherboard. The Avexer Core Series 8 gig, just because it has the plasma tubes. And it was actually the cheapest. I haven't heard anything terrible about their memory quality, so why not? If it's the cheapest and it has that cool plasma tube on it, yeah. Seagate Barracuda, just because Seagate is what I've always worked with. Never had any issues. Sapphire Radeon RX 470. Deepcool Tesseract, which is what I have in front of me. It's a mid-tower case. And the Thermaltake Smart 650 watt, 80 plus bronze. It is a non-modular at all. So if I were to upgrade, I think the first thing I would want to do is get a SSD, play games on, and use that as your boot drive. No, I'd do one or the other. Use it as a boot drive or play games on it. This is only gonna be like a 15-minute video, which is weird. And then I would have to, depending on the kind of gaming you do, upgrade your RAM, get another stick of this stuff, bump you up to 16 gig, and that's really it. I mean, you have a fairly solid graphics card. It's going to do 1080p on fairly high settings in just about every game out there. The CPU, yes, AMD is nowhere on par with Intel, But when you look at price to performance, AMD wins. When you look at any budget build online, they're all going to be AMD just because that's the market AMD has been shooting at. I haven't really seen that any of their CPUs that are out right now were really meant to compete with an Intel. That's going to change with their Zen lineup, as it competes fairly well with Skylake. I think it was Skylake. So we'll have to see how that is. Obviously, once Zen is released, I'll be doing another budget build using Zen. I actually plan to upgrade my PC to a Zen processor if I don't go Intel, and that is solely based on how Zen is comparing to some of the cheaper processors. But I've nothing else to say here, so hell, maybe I'll even do another one. I have another like 40-ish minutes until I need to hop off the computer and get some other stuff done. But till next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.